Chazan Haisender. The Chazan was about to say Kaddish, and the Rebbe turned quickly to Rabbi Groner. This I've seen at other times, Aviv. But Rabbi Groner said it happened that afternoon, Hey Tavis. The Rebbe turned to Rabbi Groner, and he went like, in other words, why aren't we saying Tachnun? Do you understand? The Lubavitcher Rebbe fasted basically for 46 days. Rabbi Groner said 46 days. Definitely more than a month. Fasting means he didn't eat until he returned from the Ohel. He went to the Ohel, I thought it was only 30 days, but anyway, at least 30 days, 30, 46 days. And the Rebbe would not eat, he would only drink. Okay? A person who is in his 80s, it was very serious. And I tell you that you could see on his facial colors, this was eating him up. There's no question about it. This was really, I'm talking physically what you observed. I'm not an Ish Ruchni, and we aren't Ish Ruchni, spiritual people that we know, but just what you observed. You saw a person who was in great pain. Great pain and suffering. And it went on and on and on. So, it comes the day when the Svarim are returned. They're returned. Wouldn't you be so elated and joyful and happy, and you would not say Tachnun because it's a personal simcha, which has halachic allowance, okay? And Lubavitcher Rebbe turns to Rabbi Groner and says, why aren't we saying Tachnun? And you know, many, you know, make light of it, but there's nothing to make light of. Halacha is halacha. So Rabbi Groner quickly told the Rebbe there's a chassan, which he did other time, but this time there was no chassan there. He had to go find the chassan. Luckily, they found the chassan, because I tell you, if they wouldn't have found the chassan, they would have said Tachnun. There's not even a question, because the Rebbe and the Rebbe was very serious. He wasn't smiling when he asked about Tachnun. He was very serious. So, I'm a simple person. What does this point to? There is halacha. There is the way halacha dictates. However, if a person has a personal feeling of elation, that this is a personal redemption for him, or for his Rebbe, for his tzaddik, for his father, for his mother, and he feels so elated, okay, I'm not making halachic rendering, but what I'm saying is, but this has to come from yourself. So no one can come from this side or from that side and tell a congregation that you're not obligated to say Tachnun. I mean, that is I'm sorry to say, a violation of halacha. I don't care who it is. And you saw that Rabbi Denberg Sr. didn't say anything, because he's smart enough because he knows exactly what I'm saying, and I believe he feels the same way. And Rabbi Friedman too. If you don't want to say Tachnun because you yourself feel that holy, that simcha, okay. So what I'm saying is that this is a fundamental issue in all of Chassidus, not just Hey Tavis. It's a fundamental issue. How do you balance, how do you justify Hasidic ideas and feelings with halachic ideas? And our Rebbe was a very firm person, Pashut, a from Yid. And a from Yid takes these issues very seriously. Doesn't just flippantly, it's like, you feel the simcha, yeah? What time did you get up today? How much chassidus did you learn? How much nittul did you learn? How much did you eat today? How much lashon hara did you speak today? I'm just saying, does one even make such a calculation before he thinks about, I really have a feeling of elation? And I think we know the answer. We don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a game. This isn't a game. Things have become today a game. It's not a game. It's very serious. When you don't say tachna, when halacha says you're supposed to, you better have a good halachic explanation and real serious approach to your reasoning. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, taking sides. It's not politics. This is simple, fundamental Hasidic and Jewish thought that I'm addressing. Does anyone have any comments or questions on what I'm saying? You don't have to be scared to talk. You could talk your mind. We're having an open discussion. No, I'm not looking for agreement. I don't mind if someone says, I disagree with you and I think you're wrong. You can say that too. But I'm the only one who disagrees, but I'm not going to. Okay. And that's all. This is it's really, it has nothing to do with me being an old timer, or I've been accused of being from a different, what they call in Lubavitch, the Dor HaShishi versus the Dor HaShvi, the 6th generation versus the 7th generation. It has nothing to do with that, believe me. I lived with the Rebbe. I lived with him for many years, all my life, from my birth. And I lived with him, and I saw him, and I studied, and I was standing right here next to him for years, where most people here did not spend every mincha with the Rebbe when I had a chance. Every mincha, every ma'ariv, I was right next to him. I don't mean right next to him. I mean, I wasn't debating, you know what I'm saying? Or when Charlie, was it Charlie? From the, Mr. Sachs. Mr. Sachs, if you see in the video, there's a guy who gets up at the large Fabrengas. He wore a sailor's hat, and he starts going like this with his hand, and the Rebbe saw him. You saw those videos? You give a look on those videos. His name is Mr. Sachs. I know him. He once took me, I think, to Gan Yisrael in Parksville. In his trunk, he had candlesticks. He did the Mivtzoyim. It was like a Baal Tshuva from the Rebbe. I once stood there, and Sachs was in front of me, and he was saying Kaddish. I'll never forget it. The Rebbe was staring and piercing at him. And I was hiding under him. I didn't want the Rebbe to see my grub face, my coarse face. But yet I wanted to see how the Rebbe was observing him. And a week or two later, he died. But he had his aliyah. That's what I'm talking about. So don't tell me I don't know about Dor HaShvi. I was and lived Dor HaShvi in the most intimate way.